Good morning. Today is Wednesday, October 9th. This is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Andrew Garcia. Today's looking sunny and clear, with highs in the upper 80s, lows in the low 60s for tonight. This week marks 1 year since Hamas's attack on Israel, inciting Israel's war against the group in Gaza. Coming up, we'll hear a conversation with a North Texas doctor who went on a medical mission to Gaza. That's coming up after today's news. City leaders in Dallas are now clear on where they stand when it comes to funding Dallas area rapid transit. The City Council voted Tuesday to include fully funding DART in its list of legislative priorities for the upcoming session. District 12 KERA Mendelson was the only voice calling to instead restructure how DART is funded, as other member cities, including Rowlett and Plano, have called for. The CEO of DFW Airport announced Tuesday he's retiring next year to start a new chapter in his life. As CEO, Sean Donahue oversaw a 10-year agreement with airlines that serve the airport. He also led a $9 billion program to reconstruct Terminal C and construct a new Terminal F. The airport says Donahue will continue in his role as directors start a global search to fill his position. This week marked 1 year since Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking more than 200 others hostage. Since then, Israel's war in Gaza has left an estimated 41,000 Palestinians dead. That's according to Gazan officials. Dr. Mohammed Khalil is a spine surgeon here in North Texas who earlier this year went on a 10-day medical mission to the European hospital in southern Gaza. He spoke to KERA's Nadia Fall about his experience there.
The first time that you feel the windows shake and a bomb go off, it certainly shocks you. But at that point, there's not much you can do. And so I think we just kind of worked through those episodes. I mean, there were a few times the lights went out and the anesthesiologist would put a flashlight on his cell phone and we would continue to work. But there's no way to describe how surreal it was. While we were there, it was a designated safe zone. It was the only last standing real trauma hospital left. It used to be a beautiful hospital. They had pictures up on the wall in the offices of what it used to look like. It was actually one of the nicer hospitals in Gaza. And by the time, when we were there, it was a trauma center and a refugee camp. I've done medical missions in the past, but not in an active war zone. So that was obviously a new experience, but just the extent of the gruesome injuries that we saw and the amount of devastation, I think it was beyond what any of us had fathomed. It was just complete and utter destruction. A lot of children with devastating injuries, traumatic amputations, gunshot wounds. We were a team of 14 docs. We wouldn't have enough time to operate on everyone that was, indicated for surgery that same day. So the ones that we would tell the residents, well, park that one for tomorrow. He's not as critical. We'll do it first thing in the morning. The next morning would roll around and a number of these patients would be MIA, you couldn't locate them because they probably got lost in that sea of 35,000 refugees and we just never saw them again. One patient that I saw in particular, he was a very unstable spine injury from a blast injury. It was not even a question that it needed to be instrumented and fixed. But when we turned him over to look at his back, his entire sacrum was exposed because he had been in bed with this injury for months. And if you instrument in that setting, if you put screws and rods in, it's very likely to get infected and be more of a risk for sepsis and death. And so to explain to him that it wouldn't be safe to treat him, he started crying that, I need to get out of here for treatment. And it was such a difficult conversation because we were like, we 100% agree with you, but there's no way we can control that. When you're in part of the mission and you're there working, I don't think there was much time to really kind of stop and process. I think we were there to, try to help people with medical procedures. We were trying to show some of the doctors there what we do here and exchange ideas. And I think we just got so engrossed in working through the night that there wasn't much time to think about it. When we came back, that's when it hits you. All of us almost had a sense of guilt that we were leaving, and the people that we had, basically been our family while we were in this very unique experience, we're leaving them. I think we all said we're coming back, and I think every one of us in our mission has every intention of going back. But there's no question that you have this in the back of your head that, when I come back, these people may not be there.
That was Dr. Mohammed Khalil. This piece was produced by KERA's Nadia Fall. In their second preseason game, the Dallas Mavericks take on the Utah Jazz tomorrow night at the American Airlines Center. Fans will have to wait a fair bit more, or maybe a little bit more, for games that actually count, though, as the NBA season starts on October 22nd. Head to the South Dallas Cultural Center to take in Desiree Venecia's exhibition To Be Seen, Not Heard. Her deeply emotional work explores vulnerability and resilience. For more information and other things to do, visit kera.org/calendar. That does it for another episode of Wake Up with KERA News. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show was produced and edited by Shardae White and Becca Moore. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter. That's written by our colleague, Catherine Hobbs. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at KERATX. And take care. We'll see you tomorrow.